Detroit Dave. 31 Trey, bitch. Yes, your boy got J's out the asshole. Yes, your boy got J's out the asshole. Yes, your boy got. Yes, your boy got. Yes, your boy got. Yes, your boy got. Yes, your boy got J's out the asshole. I used to get them just to style on them in flash holes. And over the years, I done acquired mad souls. Had niggas like, damn, Dave, how long you had those?
What up, though? Welcome to Detroit Dave's YouTube channel. I certainly appreciate you checking this video out. If you're not subscribed, I think you might want to subscribe. That way you get notifications on every video that I drop. You get access to it automatically. And I think you're going to like my new series. For those of you that are new, if you want to go back and check my history, I've been doing this for 6 years. Over 6 years, actually. And I think that y'all will enjoy all of the content that's on my channel. I also would encourage you to follow me on my Instagram. My Instagram is at DTROYT_DAVE. That's how you stay up on all my pre-orders in order to assist you to get all the sneakers that you need, because that's my business. I'm here for you. So last week I dropped a brand new series called Reflections. This is episode 2. I hope you enjoyed the one I did last week. And of course, if you've been subscribed to me or if you follow what I do, then you know I always drop a main video every month. That one's going to be 45 minutes to an hour long, maybe even a little bit more. But Reflections are only 10 to 15 minutes. It's a new series. I'm just talking about different sneakers in my collection, stuff that means a difference to me. So, this is Reflections, episode 2. Now, this one is one of my favorite sneakers in my collection. It's also one of the older sneakers in my collection. This particular pair that I'm going to talk to you about today was actually purchased back in 2013. So this is not my original pair. However, I did have the original pair on release day, and we're going to get more into that story very shortly. I always love telling this story. It was kind of a milestone in my sneaker collecting, as far as like from when I first started switching over from rocking to collecting, and then now being the collector that I am. I love this sneaker. Today's episode is going to be about the 2001 release Air Jordan 11 Cool Gray. As you can see, came in a face box. This was the first retro box. Actually, the first retro, that's a lie. This is one of the earlier retro boxes. The first retro box was, of course, the ones in '94 from that run. That had the hardwood on the side and the different pictures of all the Jordans up to that point. I think it was from 1 to 9 on the top. And then you also had the all silver with the red Jumpman retro box that was out in 1998 and 1999. So this is actually a third retro box. But they call it the face box because, as you can see, Mike's face is on the box. Just a regular black and silver box, silver Jumpman with the label right here. So, these also came with a retro card, and I keep these bagged and tagged, baby. This sneaker is actually dead stock. I have never put my foot in this sneaker, but we about to go ahead and open this bag up so we can get into this shoe. Like I said, it's one of my favorites in my collection. I'm very happy to discuss it. Learning to slip the European whips. Keep a silica gel pack in the bag. Retro 11 card. Of course, still intact. Gotta keep the retro cards. Now, this sneaker right here. Back when I was young, when I was in high school, we didn't really stand in lines. It was more of a cult following. You had to be like part of that thing to really be on Jordans like that. Like, so it wasn't a lot of people camping out. You know, camping out was unheard of. We wasn't even standing in line. Like, the mall opened at 8 o'clock. You get to the mall at 7:30, 7:45, and it'd be like you and two other people. Nah, this one is special to my collection because this is the first sneaker that I ever stood in a line for. Actually, I had to go to a couple of different stores, a couple of different malls to get this sneaker. This was a game changer. The Space Jams had already come out the previous year. Concords already come back the previous year. And the Columbias had just came out the previous month. All of those sneakers, I was able to walk right in the Foot Action on Woolward and pick them up, no problem. This one, I got to my regular mall. They messed around and opened at 7. I didn't know. I pulled up at 7:45 and they were sold out. So then I had to go to a different store called Mr. Allen's up in Detroit. Well, actually, this one was in Southfield, but if you live in Detroit, you're familiar with Mr. Allen's. If you don't live in Detroit or Michigan, you may not be familiar with Mr. Allen's. I don't know if they have stores outside of the Detroit metro area or outside of Michigan. I'm not sure because, you know, I don't live in Detroit anymore. But, yeah, it was Mr. Allen's on Southfield because that was the closest one to Northland Mall. And the line, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, when I pulled up, my heart dropped. The line was around the building. And it wasn't even, it was like 8:15. So I stood in there for a while, and slowly but surely they kept saying, we out of this size, we out of that size. And at that time I was wearing a 9. So he said they was out of 9. So we got back in the whip. Then we went all the way down to Fairlane Mall. They were sold out as well. I was sick. That's the first time I ever paid more than retail for a sneaker. The very, very, very first time was Saturday morning, March 3rd, 2001, looking for this sneaker. I went into Foot Locker, sorry, sold out. Went around the Champs, sorry, sold out. But one of the employees was trying to get his hustle on. He showed me love. He was like, yo, what size you looking for? I was like, shit, a 9. He was like, well, I got an 8.5. He was like, how much you offering for it? I was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, you mind if I try it on? So he let me try the shoe on. It fit well enough. Reached in my pocket. I said, I got 200, man. He said, run it. So I bought my pair of Cool Grays. My original pair was an 8.5. I bought them for $200. Champs about 9:15 that morning. After then, I made sure I was at the store an hour beforehand. So all the rest of the 2001 releases that was dropping, not the 16s. 16s, I don't think, no, 16s I just went and picked up. But the other 2001 retros that I ended up picking up, and then in 2002 when all the 9s had started dropping, I remember the Chicago 9s was the first one that had dropped in January of 02. And I made sure I had my ass at the mall at 6:30 for that one. But yeah, man, the Cool Gray 11, I mean, what can I say? This is the original one. The color's a little bit different than the 2010 retro. The sole is actually a clear sole versus the one with the blue tint. I mean, this one, as you can see, these have a yellow tint to them because they're, 16 years old? But this is a clear outsole as opposed to the blue tinted outsole. Has the light gray suede at the top. It has a darker gray interior around the collar and the inner tongue. And then, of course, that cool gray patent leather, which everybody loves. This was an immediate hit. Like I said, this was the first shoe I ever stood in line for. So it's kind of like one of those milestones in my collection with this sneaker. So like I said, this is actually my second pair, and I did have the 2010 retro as well, but I actually ended up letting those go. So This is the one that I have now, but I do have a few other retros from back at that time that I actually bought and I've had since 01, 2000, 2001. But yeah, man, cool gray 11s. Um, I was thinking about doing a comparison to the suedes, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. Um, I mean, cause the whole shoe is suede. I mean, other than that, the color is pretty much the same, maybe a little bit darker than the patent leather. Actually, it is darker than the patent leather. But I mean, they're the same shoe, but they different shoes. You know, it's kind of weird. I just don't feel like I really need to do a comparison. Um, but I mean, I fuck with the OGs, man. I like the suedes, but I fuck with the OGs, man. So this was just a little trip down memory lane on why these cool grays are so important to my collection, what they mean to me. I'm just really happy to have them, man. You know, especially in dead stock condition. Got them for a decent price. Market was around 400. I got them for 365, I want to say. So you know, decent price, but they was OGR, dead stock. So I'm definitely happy to have them. Like I said, 2001 cool grays. And drop a comment for the next sneaker that you want to see in my reflection video. I got a couple ideas. I'm really just going through and picking stuff up. So I definitely got a couple of ideas of what I want to throw in next. But if you want to see something different next week on Tuesday, go ahead and drop it in the comments. You know, let me know how you feel. And like I said, I certainly appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. I've already been getting some good feedback from this new series, and I really, really hope that y'all continue to enjoy it. So, like I said, 2001 Air Jordan 11 Cool Grays. This has been Reflections. If you on my IG, you'll see that there's 2 pairs of 13s coming out Saturday. The sample, History of Flight pair for men, women, and children. And then the GS only mint foam colorway, which is an all black with a nice suede upper and a light mint sole. Those are both dropping on Saturday. My pre-order is up on Instagram. If you need those sneakers, please holla at me. I could definitely take care of you. It's a 444, man. But anyway, it's your boy, Detroit Dave. Holla at you next Tuesday.